then she says, you know what? It's up to date. Go ahead. If you want to die, you want to jump, go ahead. So I thought about it, and I got off the phone with her. I called the insurance myself, and I said, am I covered if something happens to me and I jump out of this plane? And the guy goes, Mr. Mataele, we will not insure you if you jump out of a good plane. If something mechanical that happened, then sure. But if you're jumping out of a workable good plane, we will not cover you if something happens to you. So story short, I didn't jump. And then my wife told me later on she was only joking.
I had a friend who gave me for my college graduation present. She told me like that she would wanted to take me skydiving because I've always wanted to go skydiving. But then we were gonna go together, but then she ended up like getting pregnant, and so like right after I graduated. So then we never went skydiving. But I've always wanted to go. But I don't tell my mom that because she'll freak out. She'll like, no, you're crazy.
I've always liked heights. You know, when we go to some of the games that you got something high, I've always liked, even going to diving off cliffs or in the ocean and stuff like that. I love it. But so I just can't imagine how much more thrill it would be to jump out of a plane. But
so I see only 4 people have voted so far out of the 10 that are here. So has anyone else? Is anyone having problems voting?
Huh?
Is anyone having problems voting?
No, dude, this whole time I thought there were like ads or something popping up. I just kept pushing the X.
Okay, I'm gonna relaunch it. So I will share results. So like this.
Okay.
So 4 people. So then I'll relaunch this poll again. So everyone vote. So it's not an ad. It's not an ad. You need to. This is not an ad. This is the game.
It's a scam.
Respond to it. So we're talking about skydiving. SA was close, but his wife told him he was not insured. So this is the next. So you think it's an ad, but it's not. And so you need to touch if you have been skydiving. Has anyone been skydiving?
No.
So far now I have 4 out of the 12 of us that are on here.
Only 5 voted.
I'll share the results once most people have voted. So right now we have 5 people voted. And Titangi. And so we want everyone to take their thing off mute. This is one of the few times we want everyone to be off mute because we want to be able to talk. And turn on your cameras too, if possible. So, hello. So everyone can see. So far we have 6 people who voted. So far nobody has been skydiving. We are all a bunch of chickens.
I'm telling you, this is only for Palangis, just like climbing mountains.
This family likes to stay on the ground.
Yes.
We only fly on planes to go see other families, huh? So far. All fun. All right. So far 6 people have voted. No one has been skydiving. So I'll go ahead and end this poll. So then I will share results. So now we see that none of us have been skydiving. All right. So then the next question is, never have I ever ridden in a limo.
I think this whole family has.
Oh, somebody said never. So
what?
I know. Keep voting, guys. Oh, 2 people said they have never ridden in a limo. See, Uy, we're not as fancy as you, Uy. We're not as fancy as you. We don't live that life here, Uy.
I wasn't even supposed to be in a limo. I was like a stowaway.
Of course you were. Of course you were. Uy.
They're lucky I never take the limo.
So far, we have 7 voted out of 12. So keep voting.
It's 14 now. 18, 12, 14.
Oh, I can't vote.
Oh, you can't move.
I can't vote.
So it's 13 then.
Yeah, it's 13. So far, we have 5 that have ridden and 3 have never. So who has ridden in a limo, and why did you ride in a limo?
I used to own one.
You used to own a limo, Auntie?
Yes, I did.
Wow. When did you own a limo?
My husband worked for somebody that have a limo company, and we got one from them.
Oh, wow. So fancy. My dad only owned a cab, and he would drop us off to at elementary school, and people would be like, "Ooh, you got a cab to go?" We're like, "We did." If he would have dropped me off in a limo every day, but we would have been super fancy at Douglas T. Orchard Elementary School.
Oh, yay! I was elementary.
Me and Essa used to drove limousine vans. We drove some big stars. Like I drove Tina Turner.
What?
Yeah,
wow.
Bruce Springsteen.
What?
Cyndi Lauper. Kenny Rogers.
Did your husband drive anyone famous, Auntie Alicia?
Huh?
Did your husband drive anyone famous?
No. We just bought it and take our kids to school, and they get embarrassed. They told us don't drive it over there.
Wow.
We took it to 7-Eleven.
We took it to the 7-Eleven. We took the kids to 7-Eleven and come home. But they get so mad when I show up with the limo.
They don't know how fancy they are driving in a limo to school. They don't even understand. I know we had an old car that was like, we called it the boat, and we were so embarrassed to drive, like, and like my cousin would drop us off, and like we were like so embarrassed because it was like such an old, huge car. And like as we're getting out at a high school, and we'd be like trying to hurry so that people didn't see us getting out of it. And she would like honk the horn, be like, "Bye, guys," just to embarrass us. So, Uwe knows. We remember. We also had like a banana boat. Remember Uwe, the banana boat? Uwe and Boy would ride around in that car all the time.
That was our favorite vehicle.
With the hole in the floor and everything. You could just throw the trash through the hole.
Yep. And then blame whoever left all the trash in there.
A Flintstone car.
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to end the polling. So we had 7 people that have ridden in a limo and 3 that have not. So who else? So Fusi, you obviously all your family have ridden in a limo. And then, I mean, Auntie Alicia, and then who else has ridden in a limo? Why did you ride in the limo?
My latest one was at Toti's funeral.
Oh, they rented a limo at Auntie Toti's funeral?
Yeah, they have like 3 or 4 limos.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy. Who else has ridden in a limo?
I rode in one.
Why? What did you ride the limo for?
It was a school dance, but I didn't go with anyone. And I seen my friend and all their dates, they all had limo. So when they were going to get in, I just went and jumped in the other side. They're like, "Hey, where you going?" It's like, "Oh, I need a ride."
Probably just jumped in. Only Uwe. Oh my God.
Uwe, yes.
Uwe is the winner for jumping in everyone's prom.
Vehicles.
Oh, so funny. Okay, here's the next one. Remember, this is not an ad. So, never have I ever had braces. Who has had braces? I have had braces, but I can't participate in the poll. I used to have like vampire teeth.
I was going to say, which part of your body are you talking about?
That's true. That's true. I'm guessing teeth braces. I think we all have good teeth. I was just one of the unfortunate ones. So 9 people voted. Anyone else want to vote? Okay. Let me go ahead and end, and then I'll share the results. So none of us, we all have good teeth except for me.
Wow.
Dang it. Must be from my Habili side then. All this time I've been blaming my dad because he has crooked bottom teeth. But I guess it's not his fault, obviously. So, okay. The next question is, never have I ever ridden a horse.
I think this whole family has.
Not eaten, ridden.
The question should have been, who never have I ever eaten a horse?
That's what I said. Like, I'm sure it would be 100% if it was eaten. But it is ridden. Oh, a lot of people have. Wow, all this time I thought we were like such a city family. So who has, like, where did you ride a horse at?
In the neighbor's yard, our backyard in my dad's house.
Oh.
That's right.
Yeah, they had horses over there. A funny story is one time we couldn't find Balu's son, little Tony, baby. He was probably like 3 or 4, maybe like 4 or 5 at that time. They couldn't find him. We find him on the other side of the fence, sitting on top of the horse. The horse is just walking him around.
Oh my gosh. How did he get up there?
So there's a fence. He climbed the fence and then onto a wood shack. And he wait for the horse to come close to the fence. Can I help you, my dear horse? Oh
my gosh. He is so Tony's grandchild.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh man.
I rode the horse in Ewa. We went to visit my sister. It's a very funny story. Went to visit my sister Corini in Ewa. I think this was in the 60s. And somebody told me, "You want to ride the horse?" I said, "Yes." So they put me up in the horse, and I don't know how to use the what they call that, to make the horse go forward. So I just let the horse go wherever, and the horse went straight and put his head into that little Tongan house next to where I was, and I was so embarrassed. I just cried. So they came and put me off the horse.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. I rode a horse in Tonga when we were like in 83, I think is when we went and visited in Teku. And my Auntie Bias's son, Billy, like got us, I don't know how he got us the horse, but we got a horse. So we were walking it, we went and walked to the Motobuaka's house from my grandpa's house and on the horse. And like, we're just riding bareback. Like there was no saddle or anything. And like, I think we probably almost fell off like 2 or 3 times that horse. There were like 3 of us little kids trying to ride the horse. And Billy was like running around the horse, like trying to like push us back on because we kept like almost falling off. It was so crazy. Crazy. How else did you ride a horse? Who else rode a horse? Donna, did you ride a horse? Or Uncle Ase, did you ride a horse?
Yeah, I was in Tonga. I must have been 5 years old, but I rode it from Matangiaket all the way to Matahau. And the next day I couldn't walk properly. I remember that my bum was sore, my legs, the inner part of my legs were sore because the horse is pretty big. So I remember walking bow-legged.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Who else has ridden a horse? Anyone else? Uncle Ase?
Yeah, there's places here in Hawaii that You know, you can actually go and ride horses and stuff. But I think my favorite time was when I was in Tonga after my mission, and there was a bunch of my neighbors that came around with horses. So we went like you barebacks, and we went and raced on the beach on the sand. So it was fun. You know, just it was scary, but like Tana, you don't realize it how it takes some strength to stay on because it's bareback and you gotta tighten up your legs when you're on the horse. And if the horse the horse is taking off full speed, all you can think of is this horse stops, I'm flying. You know, so you gotta stay in control somewhat. And those kids in Tonga who rode horses bareback, they're good. They're good. As some of these teenage kids and younger, they can control a horse. But I was at in my early 20s when I was finishing off my mission. So, but it was hard. Like Tana, my legs are sore the very next couple of days, or maybe up to a week. You don't realize how much muscle you got to use.
Yeah.
You know, I've read the first time I rode a horse was in Tonga too. Man, that was the baddest experience of my life. Ula, cousin Ula put us, actually, Uncle Samuel and Auntie Sita had a big white horse. It was a horsitea. And we loved to play with that horse, but we've never ridden on the horse. One day, no adults were home, and it was just me, Ula, Carlo, our age group. So Ula, me and Carlo got on the horse. I'm sure Carlo could tell you. I swear we had to be 6 or 7, but anyway, Ula smacked the horse, and the horse took off. Me and Carlo were just like, I was like in front, grabbing onto the hair. I can imagine already what Essay went through, but it was crazy. That was the first time I rode a horse, and I never, ever wanted to get on a horse again until we came to Utah and I think it was Sola's brother, Dan Olive, took us horseback riding, and the saddle and the whole works. And man, I love horses. Now I love to ride the horse. But I never knew you rode a horse with a saddle, okay? Put it that way. But it was just so nice. I love riding horses. Yeah, but in Tonga, no, never again. Free saddle, I guess. That's crazy. Oh my God. Yeah, I thought the question would be who hasn't eaten horse. Because I can tell you the truth, I have never eaten horse. And I'll tell you the story about that if you guys don't mind.
Yeah.
My dad has never eaten horse, and he never will. And he gets upset when my mom makes horse. Growing up, my mom would only do it on special occasion, I think, because we never really had much of the horse. But my dad, he always tells us the story of what Grandpa Lolo told him. And Grandpa Lolo would be so upset when he saw people eating horse. And my dad said, Grandpa told them, people eating horse, como kaya hosi, ko hosi o kaya ngawe, and that's what stayed in my mind just growing up. I cannot eat horse because they do the work, and growing up in Tonga, you only see horses working for you. You don't see people eating horse. I've never remember people eating horse in Tonga, really, until I came out of Tonga and people started eating horse, outside of Tonga. But I just can't even get myself to eat it. I buy it. My kids love it. My boys love it, I guess, because everybody eats it here. And I can tell you who makes the best, from what my boys say, is Auntie Kesa. Their Auntie Kesa makes the best loloi, and I'm like, I can smell it all day. It smells so nice, but I just can't get myself to eat it. Oh my gosh. But yeah, it's because of that. It's because of the story my dad told me about Grandpa Lolo, that the horse does the work, and we should not be eating the horse. So that's a little thing from Grandpa Lolo that stays in my head about horse.
Yeah, my dad doesn't eat horse either. He doesn't like it. I don't know. He says he never grew up eating it. So I don't know if it's because of his dad or why, but yeah. So we don't grow up eating it.
And Auntie Carlos can tell you a story of when we were in South America. The South American people, horse is a delicacy. And we went on tour to Colombia. After the show, they feed us. And one night after the show, we came down and they had horse steak for us. It was crazy. And, to us, it's like, well, Auntie Carlo was just like, it was a slap on the face to her that they served us horse. But it's a delicacy. You remember in Colombia, you're either rich or poor. There's no middle class. So really, they treated us like celebrity, and they went out of their way to serve us horse steak. It was just not a good experience.
That's weird. Who else has ridden a horse that has a funny story? Yeah, you did, Uncle Mosefe?
Yeah, this helped me a lot when I was young, and they get everything. The horse help us a lot. Right now, they eat the horse because they don't hardly use the horse to go to Kiuta anymore. Their car is driving, and their truck they driving their truck to get their stuff, not anymore horsey. So that's why they eat it. In honest, they almost run out of horse in Tonga because that's all they need it for. You can't see anybody anymore riding a horse in Tonga now. Hardly.
I know. And then you're afraid it's going to get stolen because somebody wants to eat it.
Everybody have a truck. It's easier to drive, get their manioca and their stuff from Yango and right now.
That's true. I've ridden a saliote. How many of you have ridden a saliote? I love saliote.
Yeah, that's a fun, slow ride, right?
All right, the next one is never have I ever gotten a ticket.
Whoever say no is lying.
I tell you the truth.
Whoever said no rides around in a limousine.
Let me tell you, believe it or not, I moved to Utah in 1990. Till now, I never have a ticket.
Wow.
I always get my license without test or training because I never have a ticket.
Wow.
Did you ever had a ticket in Tonga?
No, I never drive in Tonga.
Wow.
Oh, I guess one.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we do have one person that has never had a ticket. That's crazy.
You know, the only people that don't ever get a ticket like Mo are workaholics. They just go to work, stay at work all day and all night, and come home.
I try so hard to never have a ticket because it's not easy for me to get a test for driving. That's why when I got one, I say, I have to be careful because was not easy for me to get one. So that's a reason why.
That's a good motive.
Good one.
So funny. Yeah, I have had tickets. Too many tickets.
I'll tell you about tickets, and Carlo. My sister Carlo can tell you about tickets. When she got her driver's license, she has never gotten a ticket, but she has the worst record because every time me and Hola get caught, we tell her all Carlo's information. You know, back in the day, you could just give them their birthday, social security, they'll pull it up. But Carlo had the worst ticket record, and in fact, she couldn't renew her driver's license because of all the tickets me and Hola every time we got stopped, me and Hola would give Carlo's information. Oh my God. Yeah. So we haven't had a ticket. Carlo has the tickets.
Oh my God. Too funny. Let's see, we'll do the next one. Has anyone gone scuba diving?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, who has gone scuba diving?
Nobody.
Where'd you go scuba diving?
I used to, without nothing, just go playing. The Tongan way, nothing on the mouth, nothing on the face. Tongan way. Right now we have stuff, but in Tonga, he says you go diving without something on face or on the mouth.
Just Tongan way.
The Tongan way. Uncle, I say you went scuba diving?
Yeah, we used to go as an elders quorum. We used to go about 15, 20 guys at a time. And I would go at night from 10 o'clock to maybe 3 or 4 in the morning. And my wife would always tell me, don't come home without uhu. Yeah, so we would go once a month. Whenever there's a party in the ward, we would go and, and shoot fish and for lobster and,
the white cat at the neighbor
for the party and stuff. But we used to go every month. I don't go as often anymore, but yeah, it's crazy. You go out with 15 guys, and by the time you come up after 4 or 5 hours,
at the window,
we're far apart from everybody. And sometimes you're supposed to stay in pairs, but a lot of times we end up being alone in the deep, and so it's scary. I think about it now, it's kind of scary, but we would actually be out there diving from 10 at night till like 4 in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah, so we got a lot of.
He used to, like when he was in, I think he was in college in San Diego. Or maybe he was in law school in Hawaii. I can't remember. One time, like he got a scuba diving. He's a certified scuba diver from Boy Scouts. But then his job, like because he needed a job that was flexible with his schedule, so he would like clean the bottom of boats. Like he bought these special brushes to clean off the stuff off of boats. So he'd go scuba diving under there. So he had scuba gear and stuff like that. And he would clean the under, and because he made good money, especially for a student. I don't know how much he charged, but I think it was like $50 an hour or something like that, which, back in the 90s, that was really good. So he would clean the bottom of the boat, all the barnacles and stuff like that. Because there are some places when you go into a port, you can't go if you have any barnacles, because it can, especially if you're going from a salt water to a fresh water place, and vice versa, because you can take in foreign stuff. So all these boats have to get cleaned before they can go. So that was his job. But who else? Yeah. Somebody else said they went scuba diving. Who else went scuba diving?
In Tonga, when they go scuba diving for getting the fish, they always go at night. They don't go in the daytime. In Tonga, to get some fish to sell and all that, they go scuba diving. They always go at night. Maybe it's easier to get a fish or whatever, but they always, you never hear somebody going on the daytime to go scuba diving to get some fish. They always go at night.
Yeah, Saya, John Mannering used to live with me and my mom for a couple of years, but we used to go at night, go lay the net or go snorkeling to catch fish. But yeah, it's usually night that we go and do our fishing.
Oh, yeah. My friend goes in Hawaii. I was actually just in Hawaii this last weekend. He goes spearfishing at night with his son, and he said that they go because the fish are like sleeping at night, so they're they're just kind of like, sometimes they're just like laying on the sand, so they're not moving around a lot, and so you can just go, and spear them and stuff like that. So they get a lot of like parrotfish and stuff like that. And I was like, that is the worst way to wake up with a spear in your head. like poor fish, they're like sleeping. I was like, dang, that is the worst.
There's not that much predators at night, but the sharks are out looking, and I've seen a few of them at night.
Oh yeah, they're nocturnal then, sharks.
Oh, they're hunting. They hunt in the evening and early morning.
Oh, interesting. Okay, the next question: never have I ever been on a train.
Yes. London.
So vote.
I never been in a train.
You've never been on a train?
No.
Never.
Well, then mark it. Who has been on a train? Where'd you go?
You haven't been in a train?
No.
For goodness sake.
How can I get in a train? I drive to work every day.
I have. I've
Where'd you
been
go?
on a train when we were in San Francisco.
Oh, where did you go to?
We went, I think we went from, I don't know how old I was. I was probably 11 or 12. But Auntie Mele, I don't know if you remember Mele and Paula Tonga.
Yes.
My parents are very, very good friends with them, but we always, when we would visit, they would send us to them. And me and Lenny got to go to visit with them. And I think from wherever they live, we took a train, a nice train to the city, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know what, but that was my first experience on a train. But it was just a ride from there to the city inside San Francisco. I don't know, it may have been the tracks for all I know, but it was a train. You know, in Hawaii, anything long like that is a train, okay?
Yeah.
So that's what, but I'm sure it was a train because we had to like climb up into the actual train. But yeah, that I think that was a train. It wasn't a tracks. Tracks, you step up. Trains, you gotta climb.
If you've been to Disneyland, you've been on a train.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, I was on
1 mile per hour.
New York City.
What's that, Auntie?
I took a train in New York City.
Oh, in New York City, you on is it the subway?
Yeah, the subway. Then we went from there we went on 3 different ones. We had to get off on one and get on the another one. But lucky thing, Moana's, we went there for Moana's fiance when he got baptized. So lucky thing he was there to help us. Otherwise we'd be lost.
Yeah.
There's so many people.
Oh yeah, New York's crazy.
Crazy.
You know what? I forgot too. We went to Japan and we were on the bullet train.
Oh, those are crazy.
Wow.
I forgot. Yeah, we were on the bullet train in Japan.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm old. I have to really think about these questions.
I know. I went on a train in England. We went from London to it's a high-speed train. We went from London to like the northern part to go look at oh my gosh, what is it called? Oh my gosh, what are those things called? Where the Druids were. Stonehenge. We rode a train up to Stonehenge. And then I also rode a train from Paris down to where Euro Disney is. I went to Euro Disney. So I rode those trains. And then I rode a train from LAX to, Orange County to San Diego. It was quicker for me to ride the train to go to San Diego from Orange County than for my brother to drive in traffic. So I rode the train. And it was a beautiful train ride. I think it only cost like $30-something. So it was I think it was like a 45-minute train ride one way. And it was like all on the, like all ocean. Like you can see, like it was all like on the coast front. Anyone else ride a train?
I remember riding the BART a lot in California.
Oh yeah?
It's faster.
Fun. So a lot of us have, and then a few of us have not ridden. So yeah, I've never been to Japan, but I've only heard like such good stories about their high-speed bullet trains. So this is, so we've had most of us have
I'll
been
be in the room, in Jennifer's room. Take care, Kathleen.
All right, so the next one.
She's taking a shower.
Okay. How many of us have traveled to Asia?
Never. Have you been there?
No.
Except me.
Well, it's about time to use your benefit mode to go there.
Yeah, wait until it's open.
Excuses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can go. You know how it is.
I think we've been blessed, really. I've been blessed to be in Auntie's show because just because of my height, I got to go travel. So, yeah, we've been to Thailand, Japan, Taiwan actually, and Japan, and I can't think now, but yeah, it's a woman's shopping paradise, Taiwan.
Wow.
Oh.
Let's see, someone else has been to Asia too, besides you, Auntie Philoy. Who else has been to Asia?
I've been to Japan and I've been to Korea.
Oh, what did you go there for?
2000. We went there for racquetball tournament. My husband was playing racquetball.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yep.
Is that before you sprained your wrist or broke your wrist?
Yeah, that was before.
Wow, how exciting. Oh, and someone else has been to Asia. Who else has been to Asia? I see someone else has been to Asia besides you two.
Like what Atu say, all of our employees, Delta employees, they always go over there for shopping. You know, they go free. They say cheaper over there. They always go, but I never went.
Oh.
I've been to Asia.
You've been to Asia, Tasha? Where did you go to Asia? Where?
I've been to Hong Kong. I was there because Auntie Anna.
Finally finished?
Yeah,
we finished then.
When Elua's daughter was out there with all her kids.
Oh.
My mom wanted to get me away from my boyfriend at the time. So she tricked me into going out there because it's Hong Kong.
Yeah.
But we got married, so I got to go to Asia and still got married to him.
Yeah, Hong Kong is a shopper's paradise.
How did you like Hong Kong?
It was so cool, although I was the biggest person all the time. But it was so cool.
Yeah, my brother went to Japan and he's 6'7". My brother EC is 6'7". Went to Japan and people were like scared of him.
Yeah. I wasn't as big then, but I was taller than everyone. And I mean, you know, 5'9", 5'8" is like average here in America, but out there, I felt like a giant.
Wow.
On a rainy day, we stand out very well because the umbrellas are up to here on us, and our umbrellas are up here.
All right, let me go ahead and share the results. So, yeah, we have a lot of us have, 3 of us, but a lot of us have not. So now we know where we need to go. We need to travel somewhere in Asia. I've never been. I'm the only one. Me and my brother boy are the only ones who've not been to Asia in my family. Like everyone else has been to Japan, and my sister Monu served in the Philippines. So, but yeah, they've all been to Asia. Lucky.
I guess.
That. Oh. Okay, so we'll go ahead and go to the next question. So, never have I ever traveled to Europe. Who has been to Europe?
That's my dream, to go over there when the border is open.
Well, it's opening this month in May. Like Greece is opening up, and I think the Netherlands is open up. Amsterdam is opening up. So it is opening up. Who has been? Someone has been to Europe. Who's been to Europe?
Wow.
Someone marked that they have been to Europe. Who was it? Is it you,
Maybe
Auntie
not.
Dani, or you, Auntie Atu?
Oh, not me. I've never been to Europe.
What? Oh. Who went to Europe? Somebody said that they have.
I don't think so. Nobody yet.
I've been to Europe, but I'm looking at somebody else, but I didn't mark it. Somebody else said that they've been to Europe. Who is it? Well, looks like we need to go to Asia and Europe when this whole thing ends. So only one person here has said that they have been to Europe. We went, my parents have been to Europe, and I went 3 years ago to Europe with a friend. We went to Paris, and we went to Rome, and then I've since gone back to London. Went to London, so yeah, I recommend it. It's beautiful. All right. Let's go ahead and see the next one. Who has? The next one is, never have I ever traveled to Africa. I have never traveled to Africa. Who wants to go to Africa?
Who wants to go back home?
Hola.
What?
I've been there.
Hola.
What?
I remember your dad told me if you want to go to London, the cheapest way, because it's so expensive, the hotel over there, you have a recommend to go to the temple in London. You can go only one session and you come out and travel around. The hotel is the hotel for the people come to the temple in London. It's very cheap. He say about $24 or something like that. Cheap. Yeah, it's like, but we have to go only one session. Mm-hmm. There's another way. If you want to go somewhere, have a temple, recommend go to the temple and stay in their hotel, because the hotel only for the people go into the temple. So you just have to go only one session a day. Yeah. That's another cheap way. That's what your dad told me. I want to go to London, there's a cheap way to get, because the hotel is so expensive.
Yeah, or you can just find someone with a hotel benefit. So none of us have traveled to Africa. I want to go to Africa. It's been my dream to go on a safari or something.
Area that I thought I was in Africa.
Oh, you?
Sir, my mission in Oakland, is that close enough?
You said you lived in Oakland? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, it was so bad back then. San Francisco didn't have a mission; they closed it off.
Oh wow!
So yeah, it was just Oakland, and that was it. On East
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I served in Sacramento, so we would always go down to the Oakland Temple for our temple. It was the closest temple at the time, and then they opened a temple like 2 years after I left. They changed one of the areas that I served in. They changed one of the steakhouses to a temple. So I always tell everyone, I'm like, you're welcome. All right. One. Never have I ever traveled to South America. Who's traveled to South America?
I love South.
Oh, who's traveled? Someone's traveled there. Oh, a few people have traveled. Who's gone to South America?
I have. Again, like I said, my blessing for dancing in the show.
Where did you guys go?
I've actually traveled more at the show than I have, to different places than I have on my Delta benefits.
You just stopped going to Minneapolis. That's why.
We've been to Cali, Medellin, and Bogota.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
I think we stayed there for like 3 weeks. We toured that whole area.
Wow.
And we did it at a time when traveling was safe. Mm-hmm. It was really nice. But yeah, we were supposed to go to Cartagena, but I think they said that was too dangerous. We didn't get to go down that way. I think that's where the beaches are and stuff, but we never got to go there. But yeah, people are beautiful there. I mean, it's just, I've never seen poverty until I went to Colombia. Yeah, poverty is really ugly there. Tonga is nothing even close to poverty in Colombia. And as soon as babies are walking, they train them actually to walk like this. They walk on the roads like this, just so people put money in their hands, little babies.
Oh my gosh.
In fact, Aaron, the hotel we were staying at, Eloni, we were told not to wear jewelry and stuff. And of course, you know, Mr. T back in the day, wore all his gold on his neck, and he came downstairs with, I think, Ongo and can't remember who else, but they were just standing there. Literally 5 little kids jumped on him, just grabbed all the chains and everything, and they left. And that was a good lesson for Elodie. No more jewelry after that, but
oh my gosh,
it was still a safe time to travel back then. Yeah.
Who else has been to South America? Someone else marked it. Yeah, I've been to. I went to, like, in 2019. I went to what is it called? Oh my gosh, I can't even think of it. Argentina. I went to and it was beautiful. Buenos Aires, like, it's totally not what I expected. It's very European because it was settled by a lot of Europeans in the early 1800s. It was, but like, unlike here but I thought, I was like, why are there no, because I mean, I've been to Mexico and I've been to Central America and stuff, and I was like, why are there hardly any brown people? I was asking some of the locals and stuff like that, and we went on some tours and stuff, and they said that, like, unlike a lot of other, like, Central American countries where they, like, might have enslaved the people or, you know, married them or, you know, had families and stuff like that, I guess in Argentina, they just, like, killed all of the natives. Like, they didn't even, like, try to do anything with them. They just, like, so, like, when you go there, everyone there is, like, either of, almost everyone is European descent. Like, there are a lot of Italians, a lot of French, and so the influence is, like, it looks a lot like, if you've ever been to New Orleans, it looks a lot like New Orleans. Like, they even have the, those big, like, vaults to bury people in and stuff like that. It's crazy.
You know, after the war, a lot of the Germans and Italians, the rich ones, escaped onto Argentina.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, speaking of Africa, there's a lot of Black people in Colombia too.
Oh yeah, they had a lot. Yeah, they had a lot of slaves in Colombia. Yeah. So I was like, oh wow, that's crazy. But then, like, you go to, like, Brazil, which is right next to it, and, like, everyone is just so multi-ethnic. Like, I have a lot of Brazilian friends, and, like, they're, like, all kinds of different. But a lot of, like, but yeah, like Donna was saying, like, a lot of them came over after World War II. Like, even Japanese, they even have Japanese colonies out there. That's why my sister, when she served her mission in Japan, like, I guess they have a rule, like, if you are a second generation Japanese, you can still have Japanese citizenship. And so when the economy started going bad in Brazil, a lot of those people traveled back to Japan. And so, but they didn't speak any Japanese. They only spoke Portuguese and Spanish. So that's why my sister learned Portuguese on her mission. It's because she was teaching them. So yeah, it's kind of fun. All right, let's see what the next one is. Never have I ever traveled to North America. Well, I thought maybe we would have people, you know, because we have, like, Paulina and stuff like that, that are from, you know, New Zealand and stuff like that. So North America. Who has been to North America?
We live in North America.
I know, exactly. That's what.
How about how far east?
But you never travel. Just kidding.
Some people have said never, whatever. I don't believe that.
Kind of like living in Hawaii and never been to Diamond Head.
What's that? What?
It's kind of like living in Hawaii and never being to Diamond Head.
Who has never been to Diamond Head in Hawaii?
I'm just saying there's a lot of us that have lived in Hawaii and have never even take that little drive to the crater.
Yeah, sure.
That's a nice hike too.
Or Punch Bowl.
Like I was telling a friend of mine, so I have been since then, but like I remember when I was like in my early 20s, I had never been to Zion's, you know, in Utah, and like all these people, like all these tourists, because I was working in a hotel, had told me like that's the only reason we've come to Salt Lake is because we're on our way to Zion's, and I was like, oh yeah, I've never been, but then I had a friend who was a New Yorker. And he's like, well, I guess that's like, I've never been to the Statue of Liberty. Like he's from New York and he'd never been to the Statue of Liberty. No,
how about, how about like how far east? Because a lot of the family lives on the West Coast.
Right.
Oh, of Hawaii?
Or just of the U.S. of North America.
Well, I'm just saying North America in general. Like who has been to Canada? You know, I've been to Canada, but just to BC. I've been to Canada. I guess I should have asked that. Maybe that would have been more fun. Not as many people there, but
know what I'm saying,
The farthest east I've ever been to was PA, Pennsylvania.
Oh, well, that is the east, almost as far as you can go. That's the East Coast.
Is that like up north?
Yeah, it's northeast.
Yeah, northern.
Northeast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The farthest I've been is Virginia.
Oh, that is on the east coast too.
I've been working with your dad in South Dakota.
Oh, you worked with him in South Dakota. Oh my gosh, that is too cool.
Yeah. I was over there for 1 month. That's the farthest I go. I went over there into South Dakota with your dad.
Wow.
I made it to Atlanta. I was there for like 8 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's where Hemi lives. Hemi lives in Atlanta.
Yeah, I went one of Mika's trips. I think we ran into Hemi at the airport. So crazy.
Yeah, he loves it out there. They say it's pretty cheap out there in Atlanta.
It's getting more expensive though, I heard. But yeah, I went for a conference event and I met up with Hemi and his wife when we went to we had lunch.
I couldn't believe how hot it is there. The whole time I was there, I was sweating. I was there during the Olympics.
Oh.
For that 8 weeks, but yeah, I couldn't believe how hot it was.
The humidity, yeah?
Yeah, just everybody walks around with a rag in their hand. They've already changed their shirt, right? Halfway through the day.
And I think about like, you know, like you see all those movies, like those things like, you know, Gone with the Wind and like they're wearing all those like heavy coats and dresses. And I'm like, I could barely handle like just the clothes that I was wearing. Like, I did not know. And I was like in shorts and a t-shirt. And stuff like that. I was like, I do not know how people wore those things. Same thing with DC. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Is the worst.
My favorite, Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, I couldn't believe the money that people have in Atlanta itself. Like, you know, just a nightlife and the people driving around those big fancy cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was in Virginia, I was working out there for like 6, almost 9 months. But we would commute back and forth to Ohio because we had another job in Ohio. And when we were over there in Virginia, it snowed a little bit, like maybe an inch. Man, they shut everything down, the schools, the roads, because it never snows over there, I guess. We're in a little town called Roanoke. And everyone was panicking over a little bit of snow. I was like, man, this is nothing compared to Utah.
Yeah. But over here, they do the same thing in Seattle. Like any little snow, that the whole city shuts down because we like have probably like one snowplow for the whole city, I think. And if you've been to Seattle, like it's like very hilly. So like and they don't salt any roads or anything like that. So it's like if you were trying to go up a hill, like just forget about it. Like I couldn't even get out of my driveway, like because there was like 4 inches of snow. And I just couldn't even back out. I was like, forget it. I called my mom, like, I'm not coming this weekend. Sorry. I can't even get out of my driveway.
Wow.
All right. So the next question was, never have I ever traveled to Tonga. Who has gone to Tonga? Who's been able to take their kids to Tonga? You have?
That's a dream.
I know.
I took my daughter and my two boys. We went to Uncle Sam's wedding.
Oh, in Tonga. How did they like it?
They were young. They remember we had to kill all these pigs. It was like over 100 pigs for that wedding. And so they remember watching the pigs getting killed. At first, it was like, oh, it's kind of fun because the pigs are running around inside the cage. And next thing you know, people are pulling up pigs and, doing their thing. And they were just like astounded, like what? You guys are killing all these baby pigs.
Oh my gosh. Hilarious.
But then I took them to Vava'u. I actually took them to go visit the different places I served at.
That's cool.
I didn't get to take them to New Toptapu because there was only one flight a week. So we didn't have a chance to fly to go to New Toptapu.
Oh yeah, that's really crazy. So about half of us have been and half of us have never been. Those of us who have never been, do you have plans to go out someday?
Yes.
Are you like, oh, maybe in like a year or two, or like, are you just like
as soon as it opens up?
As soon as it opens up?
Mm-hmm. Because we ended up, I ended up getting some land from my grandpa on my mom's side.
Oh, nice. In which village?
It's in town.
Oh.
I guess you can have apicolo, a house in town, and a house egg for uta. Mm-hmm. And I got the uta property. It's in what they call it's in Nuale. Not too far, I guess. I don't know.
Nuale is very good now. Very You have a property over there in Nuale.
In the middle.
Yeah. When you just pass Hatei and them, and Nuale is a pretty good place to have a house over there. If you go to Tonga and you want to go to Vava'u, don't go in the summertime.
Yeah.
Don't go to Vava'u in the summertime. It's very hot. Vava'u is very beautiful, but don't go over there in the summertime. It's very hot.
We wanted to go to Tongatapu for a little bit, then go to Vava'u, because my wife, she grew up over there in Tonga. She's from Limo. So we want to go over there for a little bit too.
Vava'u is almost like Frisco. Hills. When you go in the boat, when you go inside to the wharf, you don't know which way you come in because all the islands are around. It's not okay if tokalele hange ko Tonga and hapa is level. Vava'u is hills and all like that. It's very beautiful. But don't go over there in the summertime, in December, around that. It's very hot.
Yeah. The weather is opposite.
Lolo House from there too, so.
Oh yeah.
Might be cousins. Just kidding.
Yeah, our summer here, is their winter, so it's opposite weather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lape. I guess that's my in-laws motu.
Yeah.
I always tease my father-in-law when I first married my wife. It was like, ew. Go lape. Na hanga tui o fuakat ga ma family. And I used to always tell him, go fe lape, kiki tui he mape. I don't see it.
Only on low tide.
Who else that has never been to Tonga is planning on going to Tonga?
I took my girls to Tonga, and then I tried to find them at Fale Tonga because I always tell them about I grew up in the Fale Tonga.
Oh.
So I look, and I found one in La Kepa. And then they stay there and cry and look at me. And they say, hey, Mommy, you grow up on this house? And I say, yeah. And they say, where's the window? I say, what window? You stay inside the house, and when the rain comes, they blow the thing and you get wet inside. It was make them very humble.
Yeah.
No.
My mom's trying to find a Tongan pale when they were on their mission and they couldn't find one. There's not very many left.
No, me and my companion built a wharetonga in Nyoto Tapu.
Oh, we did?
Hey, the funny thing is, I learned how to lalangapola. You know, when I was growing up, I used to watch the aunties and everybody lalangapola. So when I went there on my mission, I already knew how to lalangapola. So we didn't have a place to stay, and so we built our own wharetonga. You know, we woven all the stuff for the floors. We did it and little by little, some of the villagers came in and helped us. But yeah, we built our own shelter.
Oh my gosh. That's
awesome.
Great.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, now you can go with Uy and help Uy build his house.
I've already got a container over here at my house ready to ship out.
Uy is one guy that I love so much. He reminds me of Lolo. His sense of humor is all over Lolo. He can whakamatalili till somebody cries.
Love you, Auntie.
I love Baba's
pineapple. And my brother boy are like the worst. They like don't stop until everyone is crying, either from their shame or hilarious or laughing.
Yeah, the funny thing is that boy actually named me Uy.
Yeah,
he named me and my brother. That's when we all stayed in one house over here in Magna at Tuponiwa's house.
Oh, I love you, kids. You're all over. You guys all look like your moms or dads.
Yeah.
Okay, the next question is, never have I ever traveled outside of the country. And where did you travel? Those of you who have been out of the country, if we haven't mentioned anything, where you've been.
This sounds like a coronavirus test.
I went to Australia.
You went to Australia?
I've been in Australia.
Yeah.
Oh, you went to Australia too? Oh, nice.
Travel out of
what did you go to Australia for?
I was just passing through. My mom's family stays in New Zealand, and they have her other siblings in Australia. I was going for my grandma's funeral, so I spent a couple weeks in Australia. But when I flew over there, I didn't know that I had to get a visa when I went over there.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let me out of the airport.
Yeah.
So I had to purchase a visa, stay over there for a while, and then went to New Zealand for a little bit, like another 2 weeks, and then back to Australia, and then back home.
Oh.
Yeah, right now, New Zealand and Australia have to have a visa.
Yeah.
But it's okay. People know how to get a visa. If you are a citizen, American citizen, to Australia, it's about what, $10 for a visa for a whole year.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I don't want to get a visa to New Zealand. I don't like New Zealand.
Yeah. You have a visa for New Zealand now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Just a waiver.
I didn't know that.
Just a waiver, whatever.
You can just go on their website and get it. You can just go on their website
online.
and get it.
I thought
only do it online before you fly over.
Yeah, it's just online.
It's just online. You can just get it online. It doesn't take, like, they'll just, you just put your information and you'll get it, like, really quick. It doesn't.
Yeah, I've been to Tonga, but I'm a dual citizen from Tonga.
So are my brothers.
I've been to Dubai and I've been to Abu Dhabi.
What?
That's right.
And I went to Kuwait. Can you believe that?
Wow.
What did you go? Why did you go over there for?
Well, Beauty had a business meeting over there, and she didn't want to go by herself. And her husband can't go, so she called me and told me to meet her up there because I got the benefits. Said, I'll pay for everything, just help on the plane and come. So this is what about 3 weeks. Wait, no, about a month before we go on our mission. to Reno. And so I flew to Abu Dhabi. We stayed there for 2 days, and then we took the bus to Dubai, and then we came back, and then we flew to Kuwait, and we stayed there for 3 days. 3 days, I think. And then we were supposed to go to England, but I told Beauty I had to go back because we were getting ready to go on our mission. So I came back, and Beauty went on to England, and then she went back to New Zealand.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
That is what airline did you have to travel on? Was it? Did you go on Delta or what?
No. I went on Emirates.
Oh, I heard those are. I heard it's a nice airline.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, yeah. So, and we went to Papua New Guinea on our mission. So there's another place that we went to.
Lucky, yeah. I heard the Emirates is a super nice airline. So we had one of my hotels when I was working down by the airport. We had we negotiated with Emirates, and like their flight attendants have like really strict for them, and like most international, like their people have to look like exactly a certain way. Like even not as bad as the Asian ones where like they have to be all like the same height, but yeah, like their pilots and everything like look really sharp. Most international airlines, their pilots look really, their flight attendants and pilots look really nice. Oh, how fun! Well, that was a fun trip, just for business. Anyone else travel?
Inga just joined us. Inga can tell you.
Inga, we're doing a polling, so something will pop up on your screen. It's not an ad; it's our poll. So don't delete it. Don't delete it when you see this thing pop up. That's the poll that we're taking. So I'm gonna, let's see. So right now we have, where have you traveled outside of the country, Inga?
Everywhere.
I bet. What's your favorite place that you've traveled outside of the country?
Dubai, Inga, huh?
Oh yeah, Dubai, which was like sometimes once or twice a year for the last 16 years.
Oh wow, Dubai, you love Dubai, huh? Why do you like Dubai so much?
Because my ngau and the kids' grandparents lived there, so that's why we always go.
Yeah, is it hot? I feel like it'd be so hot over there.
It's very hot but dry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
It was funny when we went there. I got a letter to go to stay in the Marriott because but Beauty said, "No, we're here and we're gonna go all out." So we went and stayed one day at the tallest building in the world. Khalifa or whatever they call that.
Khalifa.
It was about $1,600 a night. Oh my God. Said, let's do it. I don't care. I'm not paying for it.
Oh my God.
Then we went all upstairs. We paid a different price to go upstairs, up to a very, very top. Oh, I was so scared, but I just wanted to go so I can say I was there. So.
Wow. I need to get invited to Beauty's
148.
Oh my gosh. It's crazy.
You guys go to 125 or 148?
Oh my gosh.
The 148 is the yes. I have my videos in my Facebook. I went live how many times from there.
Oh my goodness.
It's very scary.
Yours, Inga.
Yeah.
Show off.
In fact, where Inga travels is where I want to go. That's every time she goes to a new place, I'm like, wow. I want your job.
We need somebody to marry a sheik out there.
Auntie Atu, did you guys use the Marriott form after that day?
Oh, you're muted, Auntie Atu. You're muted, Auntie Atu.
If you can pay $1,600 for a night, I don't think that Marriott's going to even count.
Yeah, we went to the Marriott for one night, and then we went back to Abu Dhabi. There was a Samoan lady there that married they kind of know Beauty. So we stayed there for one night before we flew out to Kuwait, and then we came back from there. So
that is so cool. I was just kidding about the Marriott form.
Oh, we did use it. But
Dubai is like Hawaii in that area, because when we used Dubai is like, that's where it's like Hawaii in that area.
Yeah.
When we used to live in London, that's where everybody goes to go on vacation is Dubai, like us going to Hawaii, because they have white sandy beaches.
Yes.
Yeah.
Farm City, you know that place? Ooh, all of those houses, man, incredible.
Yeah, but you know, even though it's like Hawaii or like America in that world, you can still feel that, you know,
Island vibe.
Yeah, because you know, people from Saudi Arabia, when they run away from Afghanistan, they run away to Dubai. So everywhere you walk, you're like, oh, I wonder, go high.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's how I always felt when I'm there.
So so it's kind of like going into a bar and you're underage.
But it's very, it's very safe there, and it's very clean. Ato, did you realize that, how clean and safe Dubai is?
And that mall, we have to take those little card, like the one they use for the golfing. We have to use that because it's so huge and it's underground.
I know, the Dubai mall. Yeah.
Yeah. The only time I was scared is when we landed in Kuwait, because when we got there was soldiers with guns everywhere at the airport. And I was telling people, you better hurry up and do whatever you need to do, and we need to get out of here. Because I have a U.S. passport. She have a New Zealand one. I said, I'm scared because they're looking for the U.S. people. They're going to kidnap me. I don't have any money.
They're going to kidnap you. They'll return you.
Get out of here. I'm so scared.
They'll be like, never mind.
Dang, that's on my bucket list now. I want to go there so bad now.
Have you guys been to Japan? Japan to me is clean. Is just as clean as Dubai.
Yep. Japan is clean. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I felt. But then I think, okay, you know, the house, when we go, we stay at the grandparents' home. It's like a big castle. And then they have a lot of workers. They're all Filipino. So Filipino is like the Mexicans here. Now how? Because I used to ask them, why you come here to Dubai? Because there's no job in the Philippines. You know, they can't come to America. So and what they do, they rent like one apartment to like 20 people staying there. Little apartment, but they sleep like on mattress, like bunk beds. I mean, I should show you guys pictures from them when I'm like, oh my gosh. But that's how they live, because it's so expensive in Dubai, more expensive than here.
Yeah.
And so sometimes when they come, they do everything for you. Until like 12 at midnight, 1 or 2 in the morning, and then they catch the bus to where they come from. And so I used to ask them, aren't you scared? No, it's so safe in Dubai. They just walk wherever they go, because I think if you do something bad in Dubai, they will kill you. So that's how scary it is that you cannot break the law.
No, that's what I noticed, Inga, when we went there. I guess they have to pray in a certain time during the day.
Yes.
We went with this market, and then when it's time for them to go pray, they just put a thing over their stuff and they left. And I told Beauty, are they scared that somebody's gonna steal their stuff? And then Beauty asked one of the ladies that we went to in the shop, and she said, no, because if they caught you steal, they'll cut your hand off.
Yes, that's the thing. That's why it's so safe there, because
Still anything.
Okwege still, and it's so clean because I think they punish you. Yeah, they punish you if they see you throw anything trash on the side.
Wow.
Yeah, and so they also told me, this is what the Filipino tells me, that, you know, for us who is coming, you know, as a tourist, it's safe because we're on that area. But for them, their religion is very strong there. You know, doesn't matter. I'm talking about the Muslims. You're not allowed to go around in the park with a girl and a guy if you're not married. They'll put you in prison.
Oh, wow.
And they said the cops are everywhere. They catches you, you're in prison.
Wow.
I'm like,
But that
really?
only applies to the Muslims, not tourists, right?
Yeah, because you know the tourists, they all stay in the tourist area.
Wow.
But you are right. They pray at a certain time during the day, so it doesn't matter. As soon as you hear, and there's a mosque every corner of Dubai, and you can hear them praying all day. Like,
they don't have a LDS church in Dubai, but they have it in Abu Dhabi. So the people
they have it in Abu Dhabi. Yeah, I saw you guys
in Abu Dhabi. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they go to church on Friday. That's their Sunday.
Yeah.
Auntie Mao, did you have a comment or a question? I see your hand is raised.
Where's Mao?
You did. Auntie Mao. She was on.
No.
That was an accident?
Yeah, accident.
Okay, no worries.
That's how they say hi in Laie.
All right, so now we're gonna do the next one. I see a lot of people have joined us, so something's gonna pop up, and then it's gonna pop up, and then you have to answer it. So it's not an ad. So the next one is, never have I ever been in an ambulance.
8 years after that answer, something like that. Okay. You heard?
Never.
Never have I ever been in an ambulance. Who has been in an ambulance? And why were you in an ambulance?
Nobody.
Lots of rugby injuries and lots of work-related injuries for me.
Rugby and work-related injuries. Where were you playing rugby, Uncle Dana?
Here in Canada.
Oh, in Canada.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we forgot to tell you, me and SA went with our state team to New Zealand for rugby there too.
Oh yeah. And you, oh wow. I didn't know you guys played rugby together. I knew Uncle SA played football. I didn't know he played rugby. Who else has been in an ambulance?
Me, I have.
Oh, what were you in an ambulance for, Auntie Tangi?
I just wanted to ride with the handsome guys. Just kidding. No, I actually got dehydrated here one year. It might have been like 10 years ago. And I didn't know what it was. And my kids were with me. And they just called the dang ambulance. And the guys that came in, you know, like the fire department guys. Talk about a calendar boys. But anyway, so they called an ambulance, and then I got to ride in an ambulance. Yeah. But it was really not a big deal. It was just, they had to go take me in to see why I was dehydrated. My kids basically forced me to get into the ambulance. That's how it was.
Oh.
Auntie Tangi sounds like Auntie Tangi sounds like Auntie Fa. with the whole the paramedics. Because I was in an ambulance because of her, and it all to find out she just had a whole bottle of wine and thought she was having heart palpitation. But then she was like, no, but then all of a sudden she's like, oh my gosh, they're so handsome, whatever. And then we get there and she's like, oh my gosh, how much is the bill gonna be? I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay.
Yes, we just want you alive. My goodness.
Well, I got a funny story. I got a funny story about one of my accidents.
Okay.
Anyway, I was in Hawaii and I was in Boy Scouts, and the rope we were rappelling on broke, and I fell like 30 or 40 feet, but it broke my arm, my kneecap. I woke up at Queens Medical Center. My mom was crying. It's 2 days later. I remember Uncle Kawasi coming and seeing me, and I was pretty beaten up. He wanted to go and beat up my scoutmaster.
Oh no! Oh my god!
He goes, "Where does he live?" Like my mom, it was an accident.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I remember I needed an ambulance when we were in when I was living in Hawaii, and I was playing with the Barbarians. We were playing the Laia team, and for some reason I had a concussion and a broken collarbone. So after I got kicked in the head in the ruck, I didn't know. I just ran all the way back to where the Leacolo was, to the fullback, and I just stood there. And then my whole right side, I couldn't feel it. And I looked at Hemi. I was like, "Hey, I think my arm is broken or something." And he felt my collarbone. It was snapped right in half. And he told me, I was like, "Oh, maybe we should go to the hospital, get an ambulance." And then Uncle Motobaka walked up. He's like, "Oh." I was like, he looked at it. He felt it. I was like, "Oh, I guess I'm good."
Sounds like Boy's injury. Boy like hurt his like knee or something, and like my mom and them called like a Tongan guy to come over, and he's like, "Oh, he just needs to get massage." And then like next thing you know, Boy said like he's never felt such pain in his life. And like the guy like massaged, and then like the next day it was like worse. And so I went to the doctor finally, and the doctor's like, "What is going on here? Like it looks like you killed your knees."
You gotta love those Tongan medicine men that come on the fields. Like I could keep Maloi big. I can give step on it. Really?
Yeah.
So crazy.
So you're another barbarian. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, it was good times playing over there. We had Gelo, Malikamu, and Motupuaka as our coaches.
Okay. Well, that is the end of our poll. That was the last of it. Thanks everyone for coming. Does anyone have anything else that they wanted to ask everyone, or we can try to run another poll? What?
Yeah, I want to ask you about Hola.
What?
Stop. I want to go to the Putu, but I can't find a place. Do you still have help me at discount to get me a room for me and my wife? I want to go to Carlos' husband's funeral.
Yeah, I can look and see. They're probably all, like, I think all the places are real. The problem that you're going to have is not the hotel, it's the rental car. There's no rental cars right now. All the rental cars are like 200.
We can just Uber. Let's Uber there. It's cheaper.
U-Haul.
Even U-Hauls are like sold out. Like it's like all like, wow. They're all like
Hawaii small. We can Uber more.
Yeah.
So
who's all going?
If I'm not going with my wife, I stay with Elone.
Come with your wife. See.
Mo, the only one I've been watching and looking at the rates. The only one is Marriott, and the only one that's available is like $99 a night.
The Courtyard.
It's at the Courtyard. That's the only one available. But Mo,
but it's okay.
Mo, no.
That's the cheapest one
But it's not as really like the Marriott. But if you go on our Delta benefit, they have cheaper ones too, in Waikiki, if you want to do that. Because I mean, it's really up to you, but there are cheaper ones.
Yeah, I plan to go on Wednesday, and my wife will come on Friday. So
I'll see you there, Mo.
Get available to go help and do whatever.
Yeah. But it's good just to go hang out.
Yep.
My dad's birthday is this Friday. Friday, I think. He'll be 85, and most of my siblings will be there anyway. Talahiba goes into the temple, Pola's daughter, Talahiba, that same day. So whoever catches, be in Hawaii this week, and that's what's happening over there. But I don't know how many can go into the temple though.
Yeah.
Man, he says say that I told my wife I have to go help, so that's why I have to go early.
All being catered.
Mo.
They only said there's something going on Thursday, Friday.
O que
I
que
have to
faz?
go. That's
O
why
que
I
que
want
faz
to
aqui,
go.
bom? Que faz vai beber aí?
I want to hang around over there.
I said.
I just came back to Hawaii and they're using the big wide planes right now from on the direct to Salt Lake. So it was like the big ones. But yeah, they're filling the middle seats now.
And they're selling the middle seat now, so yeah.
Yeah. So and it was packed. Like it was packed. Like there were only, I think, 8 seats left when I went there. So like and there were only 2 standbys, but so like, they left with 6 empty seats. But yeah, it was packed. So it's getting busy. And then and there's no rental cars. Like the rental cars are like sold out.
It's over $100 right now.
Yeah. And it's like really
$200 a night.
It's expensive.
That's
Is it because
so
it's busy or it's because they
crazy.
don't have enough
Is it
cars?
because they're like, yeah, I was
They don't have
just gonna
enough
ask the same
inventory.
thing.
They don't have
they
enough
didn't
inventory.
The dealerships, the rental car places during the pandemic sold a lot of their inventory to the public. So they don't have too much